Welcome to the emergency meeting after that disgusting performance from Deralee FC because this team was in all sorts, absolute all sorts. Danhausen FC, that was pack of clowns. They've broken the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not commit fraud. Absolute joke. The Rat King gets one up on us. And those first two quarters absolutely meant nothing. So fitting background to a fitting performance, just absolute trash. Now, you've heard me speak for the last 2.5, nearly 3 hours on the Game Day Live. Welcome to everybody in the chat. I see you all. A few people joined us for the Game Day Live. If you haven't liked the video already, please do. Support the channel. It's nice and free. Click that button. We're going to hear from a few people tonight. We got a few people lined up already. So I'm going to begin getting some people in very shortly. Let me go through some of these people in comments. Welcome to everyone in the chat. We've got Rocco Moro, who's depressed. I think a lot of people are going to be depressed tonight, my friend. I think that's exactly what it's going to feel like. And there's going to be a lot said tonight. Strap in. There's going to be a lot of comments from probably a lot of the regulars and maybe some new people we'll see. Enzo Valentino, nice to see our players tongue-kissing Charlie after the game, patting each other's ass and smiling. Yeah, I hated it. Absolute disgrace. Great passion. Why don't our players hurt like we do? Because they're the ones on the pay packets, my friend. They are the ones on the pay packets. What the actual? Yep. Welcome. We've got all the regulars in here. It's just honestly, it really felt like this for 2 quarters. Looked like traffic cones. It was just dog shit. But like I say, I call them from now on. They are Deralee FC. It's as simple as that. Absolute all sorts, and you can call them Danhausen FC as well. After that, absolute pack of clowns. I'm gonna get some of the crew in here. We got the captain,
Hi everyone.
Mick Marcucci. We've got if anybody doesn't know how to say this guy's name from now on, it's like this. Zach. All right. That's what it is, all right? So we've got you guys lined up for now. We'll get a few more in a moment. Mars is on his way home to the hotel from the ground. And I'm sure Rocco's going to jump in and everybody else. I've said my bit. I'm not going to go too crazy with this. I'm going to let you guys absolutely hone in on it. Let's start with Mick. You were in there nice and early, mate. What do you reckon?
Hard watch. I mean, that's the obvious truth there. But I think we were shell-shocked. Simple as that. I mean, coming out of that second quarter at halftime, there's a little glimpses. I mean, you mentioned in the chat that we're starting to look a bit shaky. And then, yeah, come that. You would have thought the third quarter we'd come out fresh and thinking this is working. Let's keep going. But obviously, Sydney turned up the flame a bit. We couldn't keep up. I mean, they showed prowess. Like, I mean, they turned it right on. It's not an excuse for us because we turned it right off. But fuck, they came out. Every single elite player they've got put their mark on that game. Golden was the catalyst to kick it off. You know, he had 8 disposals in 3 minutes or something stupid. He was just on fire. And then Warner just topped him off, and it was just too hard for us to. And once those young guys, first-timers, new game plan, too much in their heads, far too much in their heads. That's the way I see it. I mean, we weren't great. I admit it. We were everywhere, but I think it was all in the head. We showed that we got a new game plan. That was evident. That was 100% evident in the first 2 quarters. But as soon as that pressure goes on, there's so much going on inside their heads. They fall back. They fall back.
We just didn't have that answer to once they put the foot on the pedal, and that's very reminiscent of last year and many years before that. Even go back to the early 2000s. I mean, you heard me say it. It's been a problem for years where Carlton doesn't have the answer when an opposition coaching team change things, and we just can't go with them. It is what it is. Zach.
Yeah, look, I think we say a lot on this channel the phrase when the game is there to be won, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's the same situation. When the game was there to be won, We had not the foot on the throat, but an opportunity to do so, and we just didn't do it. It was just a classic Carlton game, and to be honest, it turned into a classic Carlton and Sydney game, where our contest work, which is supposed to be our one wood under Michael Voss, good lord, you had Warner streaming out, Heaney streaming out, Grundy was streaming out at times as well. It was just Swiss cheese through the midfield, and we just couldn't get our one wood going. And I think it's interesting because we speak about the new Carlton, new game plan in a way. I think our attacking game plan earlier, the way we were kind of lowering the eyes a little bit, you could see it was evident, but as time went on, it just wore off. It just, which is, I guess, understandable, but it just wore off. And then you look at our defensive game plan too. We were shocking. I mean, the way we defended the ground, it's been an issue for years now. It just wasn't good enough, and it just kept deteriorating as the game went on. You get into the way they were running. They were running on top of the ground, and we were running with ankle weights on by the time the game ended.
Yeah, they looked gassed. I mean, we say it every single year. We say it. We say, honestly, when are we going to play 4 quarters of footy?
Yeah,
and a lot of people would have been hopeful that was tonight. That this new system and the training and the preseason, and it would have been embedded in their heads, and we get our fitness coaches to actually do something and get them through the games. I mean, I don't know where this has gone wrong, but I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that say this is only one game and all the rest of it. I know there's going to be people that say that, but I'd be happy to accept that just one game. If we got done by 20, 25 points and we gave it a red hot crack, and our coaching staff, it was evident that they changed things to go with it, but it just didn't work out in the end because they had that touch more class. You'd be happy with that. You know what I mean? Okay, no, you're not happy with a loss, but at least for us, I'm assuming you guys as well, to say, okay, we thought we were going to lose, but we didn't think we were going to lose by 10 goals. No. So I'll ask you this. In the first quarter, after the first quarter, how are you feeling? How are you feeling after the second quarter?
Quietly confident. I'll put it as simply as that. Like, I wasn't confident we could run over Sydney, but I was happy because we were at least keeping them at bay. But frustration also kicked in hard. Like Zach just said, it was so frustrating watching those easy entries and those easy shots on goal just go missed. We're lucky Sydney did the same thing. Otherwise, this could have been an absolute, it could have been a 100-point loss if Sydney were kicking straight in those first 2 quarters, because they had plenty of opportunities too.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know, quietly confident but frustrated as well.
You know what it is? Yeah. So we've been live for now just under 10 minutes. No one's really mentioned a player, to post blame on, which is interesting. But we're going to get into that. Don't worry about it. And that's the thing. I want to talk about
I've got a list.
And I don't think I've ever really gone like this at a player, but that was probably the worst game I've ever seen Patrick Cripps play for Carlton. And I don't want to be too crazy or too emotional, but that was probably the worst game I've ever seen him play. Obviously, the free kick he gave away, but he was genuinely non-existent. And for what his one wood is, which is what our, I guess, game is based on, he was genuinely not there. He was not there up here, especially. I just didn't think that he was anywhere near a leader. And this is a 30-year-old Cripps in 2026, and I can't believe I'm even saying that sentence. But it's true. Wasn't there. He just wasn't there.
What you're saying is true. None of our leaders stood up.
No, none of them did.
Not just him. You want to look at Wiedering, you want to look at Walsh. Neither of them really stood out when they needed to. Okay, It just felt like nobody stepped up, and the players that usually step up around them, gone. Oh, we've done it before. We've looked at the team third quarter, fourth quarter, and gone, who's going to stand up? Maybe in that we find one or two that where we say, oh, Ollie still gave it a crack, or you know what I'm saying. Well, someone was still trying. There was nothing. But I could not point to anybody in those 2 quarters and go, you know what? At least they're trying to do something. Correct me if I'm wrong.
The only one really was Pito, and he was just playing on pure instinct. I didn't think he knew
that was the whole
game.
game.
Yeah.
He was doing that the whole game. I'm talking seriously, just those last two quarters.
100%. When the game's there to be won, who stood up? No one.
Correct. And Pito's not a game winner.
Absolutely not.
Pito's not going to win you a game. Well, we're talking about the people like how you mentioned Cripps and Walsh and the leadership group plus those around him. I mean, Ainsworth, you can maybe make a case for. He was trying to give it a bash there, But, I mean, even then, it wasn't real. It was barely even 50%.
I feel like you said it before, Mick, like when they were trying in the first quarter, they were trying to, move it forward quick. We would get a little hand in there or stop it. Like we kind of annoy them in a way, or there'd be one of our halfbacks would maybe, put a little bit of pressure and they'll miss the handball or something. We really weren't allowing them through. And then the damn wall broke. And I don't know, I can't believe it. I mean, I can, but I really can't believe how quickly it did. Like we just let them straight through.
Yeah,
I want your guys' opinions on this. We'll put this up. The hype on Jagger was embarrassing. So obviously we're talking about Jagger preseason, of course, and first AFL game. You guys would have heard what I said already. I'll let you guys give me your thoughts on Jagger and why he wasn't in the game too much.
I know you can read stats in any way, but it's his first game of AFL footy. And let me just count them off. He had 27 touches, 11 kicks, 16 handballs, 3 marks, 2 tackles. Like, what do you want from him? He's a first-year player. Yeah, he wasn't as clean as we've seen him in the preseason, but holy shit, he had Heaney on him most of the night. Like, we've got to give the guy some credit. I disagree with that comment wholeheartedly. He was far from our bottom-end players tonight. He was actually quite good.
Yeah.
I think in that midfield is probably one of our better ones.
I think he was only given that chance to link up in the chain. I said it a lot. He was just a link-up player in the chain, and he never really had the opportunity to burst through the midfield except for that last quarter a couple of times. So we were never going to see what we saw in the preseason. That's how it felt from the start anyway. Zach, thoughts?
Yeah, look, I was surprised by how I guess how central he was. I was thinking he'd play a little bit wider or, a little bit more outside of the contest. But look, I don't really mind where he plays. I think the good thing with him, he didn't really get, I guess, annoyed by, let's say, if he had a bit of a fumble, or let's say he got into the contest and he'd cough it up. He didn't really get annoyed, which you see young players do, especially first gamers. So, it was good to see his continuous effort, which is much to be said about the others. But again, the midfield as a whole, when it got to the time where the game was there to be taken, the midfield was just absolutely non-existent. And you saw guys like Hewitt, especially Hewitt in that second half, ankle weights on again, the lot of them. It was just really, really tough to get a run on, even just to stay with them. It was really hard.
Yep.
Guys, I'm gonna open it up. I've put the link in the chat. If you guys want to jump in and get your say, please do. All I ask is that you have a camera with lighting and that it's horizontal, not portrait. So landscape, not portrait. Because we get a few weird ones that jump in, but feel free to jump in if you want to have your say. Just keep it relatively, okay. Don't go saying too many things that might strike the channel, you know what I'm saying? But welcome again to everybody in the chat. We are, there was a question earlier. I can't be bothered to try and find this, but yes, Mars will be jumping on. He's on his way back from the SCG. So just got to give him a bit of time. I don't usually host this show, as you know, right? So my domain is elsewhere. So he will be jumping on. Rocco will jump on, and the usual suspects at some time. I guess everybody's just getting their things together. So don't stress. You will hear from the crew. Let's talk about and we're probably going to talk about these players over and over again for the entire stream, which is probably going to go for about 7.5 hours at this point. Give me your thoughts on Harry Mackay.
You don't want him.
No,
I do want him. If anyone, I want to see a Mick explosion. That's what I want to see.
That's the most disappointed, the most pissed I've been with his game in a long. I've backed him a lot. You guys will say that. I've given him a lot of credit. I've said I'm hoping this is an opportunity for him to be free of the shackles of Charlie and have a Coleman, not a Coleman medal year, but one of those 50 goal a year years. But I mean, all through the preseason, everyone was saying, Mars included, that we've told him to ease off, come into the season hot. But He was nowhere tonight. He took a couple of marks in that first quarter on the wing, but as a forward, he wasn't leading. He was tapped for that goal in the last quarter. It was just a complete ass. But
yeah,
he was probably our worst on. I legitimately think he was our worst on ground. I think he had less impact than Lockie Fogarty, and that's saying something in that forward line.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what it is
just
with him? A key forward's got to have some sort of a presence about him as a key forward,
Yep.
surely. He when the ball got anywhere near him, he'd have arms out. It just didn't feel like he'd mark it. That's so weird to say. Like, it just honestly didn't feel like he'd mark it. And I understand it's hard to mark, lace out and you got a guy right there. I understand. But it just didn't feel like he had any type of presence. Didn't feel like he struck any type of fear into that Sydney defense, which, to be honest, on paper, I think Harry Mackay can. I thought he could have done something, but
he's shown us, Zach. Think about the
no
Harry of
presence.
yesteryear. He has that in him. Where's it gone?
Absolutely.
Where's it gone?
But hey, Charlie Curnow was holding him back. It's Harry's forward line, apparently.
Oh,
But that's the point. He's now got
He
to
really bossed the forward line tonight,
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
What are we doing?
If they dropped him as a point, I wouldn't be surprised if he.
Mate. I said the same. You would have heard me. I said put him in the twos.
Yeah, you did too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. But
you've got nothing to lose. You could bring a first-year player in to replace him because right now he's doing so little. Let him get some form.
Literally, and we basically played the game without him anyway.
Correct.
Nothing went through him at all. He kicked one. It was a tap-in goal. Let's just say that.
I gave it to him. I literally handed it to him.
Let Dirksen take his spot. He kicked 6 goals or something in his last forward game, didn't he? Wasn't he a forward?
Talking about that gherkin?
The gherkin.
Mate.
You're talking about the gherkin?
I
can't believe the gherkin missed out.
Well, so me too, but I'll tell you what, one thing that hurts me to say, and I don't even know if I can get the words out without vomiting in my mouth, but McGovern wasn't that bad. I mean, he's by foot, he's horrible, but he was intense. He scored a few marks. I didn't hate his game.
You know what it is? I didn't really hate any of our back six. I didn't really hate any of their individual game because we've known this for so long. Every time there's an individual kind of, I guess, a duo, let's just say for our back six, they perform. They perform on their man. But it's as a team, and we've said this for so long, they were so unorganized. And there was even a time, especially late on, Charlie had Weeders on an absolute string. Because I think we were talking, Dylan and I in the selection quiz, and we said, look, okay, who's gone with Charlie? And we said, Wiedering will start on him if he plays inside 50. And if he moves out further, then you probably put Dean with him. Wiedering stuck with him, and that there goes our general out of the 50, and he's stuck with him outside 50. And you got Amadi and McDonald, who McDonald didn't do too much, but he was bringing the ball to ground. Amadi was taking marks for himself anyway. So we were just so unorganized. And again, I'd say too late to react, but we didn't even react. I just let it happen, pretty much.
Yep.
I mean, I know we can sit here and dissect every single player on the team for the entire time, but I mean, I'm gonna bring in one more now, but I want to talk about Pitto at some stage because we quickly touched on it, but I mean, there's people talking about, we're looking at comments like this from Elijah, right? Lazy and whatever else. You can literally dissect every single player's game and say, what didn't we get out of that player that we get out of them every single time? But let me, we got a couple waiting at the moment. Let me bring in one for now. You know what? I'm going to bring in a couple. So we got the famous Slobbo. Right? No, Slobbo's gone. Don't worry about it.
He dropped.
Andy.
We're close.
How you feeling, mate? How you feeling?
Nah.
Because I heard what you said. All right. I loved your comments. Was it earlier in the week or was it last week? I think it was. Preseason. It was after the preseason game.
It would have been early in the week. Like the big thing for me is, and I made it in a few chats. I made a comment in a few chats. I don't think any Blues fan would have cared to lose today. We didn't care to lose, but it's how you freaking lose. And, 12 goals in a quarter, guys. Come on. They did the same. They did the same formation. They did the same formation again and again and again, and our mids didn't adjust. They pushed it back. Heaney got forward. We got sucked 4 players back into the contest, and then they just pushed it forward, and Heaney or Warner just ran on, and they just couldn't do anything. And I've had a man crush on Cripps ever since he came to the AFL. He is my favourite player. But tonight, he just looked like
Lost.
he had no chance in playing the ball. Like, he just couldn't get anywhere near him. Warner was making him look like a fucking idiot. Was really taking the piss. He was just dancing around him, and Cripps just sort of sunk his head and said, I can't go with you.
Yeah.
I want to point this out here. It's from Rocco Mortal, wrong. I do care when we lose. I'm fucking sick of losing, mate. I understand that. Like, we don't want to lose, but I said this at the end of the stream for Game Day Live, right? There's a difference between, you just got to chuck a bit of context in there. If we had have gone out tonight and lost by that 20 to 25 points, but we, like I said it earlier again, it would have been fine. Right, because we would have stuck to the plan. We would have got everything out of all of our players, but we just missed out by whatever it was because they had that extra little bit. But at least we don't look like we're an absolute Danhausen FC, Darrell Lee FC, broken the 11th commandment and all the rest of it, right? Everything was a shambles. And when Pito's your only multiple goal kicker, right, and he's kicked the same amount of goals as their top goal scorers that kick goals for fun, I mean, come on. What are we doing?
The big thing for me, guys, like, you look at the stat sheet and everything's fairly even. They smashed us in clearance, bar stoppage clearance. And then you look at the pressure. 38 tackles for the game, which is like it's one of the all-time records for our team to have that lower tackles. Yeah. They out-tackled us by double, and they had the ball in their hands for the majority of the second half.
You know what? Sorry, in the first half, we had the ball way more than them, and our tackles were lower, fair enough. But we didn't switch. When they switched, we didn't switch.
But it's funny, I was talking at the first half, and everyone's like, oh, good half. And I'm like, we've got all the momentum, but we can't score. So it's all well and good to have all the momentum. But if you don't put pressure on the board, you know what Sydney's capable of. And they showed us in the third quarter. They changed a few things. They started winning contests. They started winning the 50-50s, and we had nothing to do. We had nothing to go back with. And that's a scary part of our team. It's like, how do you arrest momentum? And our team last year was probably the worst at stopping momentum from another team. It's what all good teams know how to do. And our team couldn't do it last year. And we're probably the best at getting you sucked into a false sense of security, because the first half we just didn't let them breathe. And they're kicking it over out of bounds on the full. They're kicking high up and unders. They were playing like us. And we were lowering our eyes, taking good options, like not getting sucked into the occasion. We were calm, methodical, but we just couldn't score. So you're like, all right, well, the game's going to open up. Hopefully we can make some moves in the forward line, and hopefully we can start bursting out the centre with Walsh and Smith. But we couldn't get our hands on the ball in the third, and they kicked 12 fucking goals. So, I don't want to hear this, it's fucking Voss. It's Voss. It ain't fucking Voss. Our midfield leaders, they let us down. It wasn't the forward line. It wasn't defence. It was our fucking midfield today. They were shit. They didn't put any fucking pressure on. They didn't adjust. They didn't fucking put a defensive sweeper in the back to stop Heaney. They didn't put any body on them. You like, for people that aren't in a fucking AFL club, you've got to think, how the fuck can that happen again and again and again? 12 fucking goals to 4 in a quarter.
It's embarrassing.
No way,
man. It's absolutely embarrassing. But I got to say, and you guys can give me your thoughts on this, Andy. Yeah. I know you say that it's not Voss, and and it was the midfield that let us down, which they did. I agree with you on that, right? Can we not also boil it down to the fact that when Sydney changed it up, our coaching staff didn't? Because there should be an answer. I mean, like the first two quarters was on our terms, right?
Because exactly.
And then once we hit the third and the fourth, it was on their terms, but we didn't have an answer for it, and that's very, very Carlton.
Did you see him put the sign up though, Bo? There was the iced coffee with the bag of sugar that went up in that third quarter. They were trying to change something, showing everybody.
What the hell was that?
I have no idea.
Was that? Yeah.
What did they change? Or are they literally this stupid that they were offering them iced coffees?
Doesn't surprise me.
I seriously don't know.
At this point, I don't know. Do they want some Derrily all sorts?
If you're a Sydney fan at halftime, you're happy with that. Like, think about it. If you're a Sydney fan going into halftime, haven't really got your hands on the footy. We're pressuring, especially, around that halfback area. We're really pressuring where they're trying to move the ball. You're happy going into halftime. But then I've seen something on Twitter here. So Sydney's third quarter of 75 points was the highest scoring quarter from any AFL side since Essendon's 94 against Gold Coast in 2011.
Embarrassing.
That says
breaking records for all the wrong reasons.
That is
correct.
The message, the message that you're sending out, again, this is where I think, your coaching's one thing, but your on-field leadership needs to stand up. So to me, our defense couldn't do anything in that third quarter. They're just watching the ball rocket in. Like, what were they meant to do? Yeah, they got a few opportunities where they just started kicking long and doing that stupid shit.
Yeah.
They did that, all right? But our midfield were beaten again and again and again. So your coaching staff, you're not having a quarter to talk about it. You're sending a runner out there. You're changing things up. You're mixing the lineup. Cripps goes in. You probably need to keep Cripps out of it, if I'm honest, because he's slow. And they were just waltzing around him. So there's an element of coaching, but ultimately your on-field leadership, that's when they need to dig their heels in and say, hey, guys, we've just had fucking 7 goals kicked against us in a row. What are we going to do to stop it? And that's fucking scariest thing about our club is we have got good players in our club. Okay, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. We have got good players in our club. But when these things happen, where are they? Where the fuck were they? Where was Walsh and Smith and fucking Cripps and Hewitt and, you could have had Nick Dacos in there at that point and he wouldn't have fucking been able to stop that. They got beaten every fucking possession. Every fucking one.
And you know what it was?
Happen?
After every
How does that
single
happen
one
for a quarter?
They kept rolling back, more, I guess, defensive in a way. Rolling back, sitting back, inviting. I understand you're leaking goals, but this has happened. Literally, if we had Charlie if this was last year, which happened, because you can watch the same exact thing in the SCG happened last season, where they would run through our midfield. I guarantee you Charlie would be down back if we had him, if we had 2 genuine. I wouldn't be surprised because we just keep absorbing. There's got to be a time where we've got to trust in our players, but it clearly, when you do, look what happens, or they're not trusting. Like, I can't understand. And again, like the first game argument's a good argument to have. And I think a lot of people wouldn't have expected finals and, talking on a grand scheme of things for this year. But it's coaching 101. Like, I mean, I could never be an AFL coach, but it's okay. This team's doing something different. Let's not invite the pressure. Let's try and, deal with it, but also continue to attack efficiently like we've been doing.
But do you? I'm just chucking this out there, right? Like, you've had 5 goals kicked against you. Let's talk hypotheticals. Do you get Pitto in the center and go, Pitto, I want you to punch it forward as much as you can, and then try to activate your half forwards to get, because like Grundy was tapping it back, they were going back and then forward. So do you go, Pitto, just belt it forward, and half forwards, fucking Ainsworth, Smith, bloody Kemp or Moya, get up. Moya started to get involved. He was like, I can't remember if it was late in the third or if it was early in the fourth. He started to get actively involved. But our half forward line weren't coming in when the ball was sort of in dispute just behind the centre square. Our half forwards were nowhere to be seen. So I don't know if they were trying to hang back in case the ball went forward because we kept getting beaten. But it just, I don't know, like, you don't want to go to, the season's all done and whatever, because we've had 1,000 changes in our club. We've got to expect that it's going to take a little bit more time than usual. Sydney have basically got a same list, bar Rosas and fucking Kerno. So they've had a better preseason because half their fucking best players were out injured last year, which they covered more amply in the fucking press conferences at every quarter. So they were fitter. They looked fitter and they're better runners than us. However, there's an element where it's like, guys, you're getting beaten the same way and you're not adjusting. Now, as a professional sports person, doesn't matter if you're playing football, soccer, basketball, you should be able to adjust where you can arrest it, even for 5 minutes where you can calm things down. But we didn't. When we got a possession, we kicked up in hope. Sard kicking these fucking scrubbers on the ground. It's like, come on, guys, aren't we past this shit? Aren't we past this fuck? Yeah, Elijah. I reckon half of his kicks tonight were like scrubbers on the ground.
Andy. On the ground, bro.
But
there's
again,
no way both of them were doing that coincidentally. That had to be a direction.
But you don't want to put it, like you guys have said, you don't want to put it on the individual player. It's as a group, as a collective, they lost their shit. They couldn't handle the pressure and they capitulated. First half amazing, second half it was like you're watching an under-12 side. So,
Andy, I reckon the thing that infuriated me the most about that shift, and I know I've said it before, it's all in the head and it was just that compounded pressure coming back from Sydney. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. What I would have liked to have seen, even if we lost by this margin, I would have probably still been a bit happier had they have continued that game plan from the first 2 quarters. Even if it's not working, show us that you're keeping to try that. Do you know what I mean?
Stick to your guns, for sure.
Stick to that gun. You already started it, and it was working. So keep trying it. Because as soon as they reverted to something else, it stopped working, but they kept going with what wasn't working. It made 0 sense.
Yep.
Yeah. So I hear you, mate. It was like I said, I was confident at the start because I thought this is great, but I was so frustrated as well. And Bo was all over your face. As much as you were you say you were positive and you were trying to be positive, I could see through it.
Look, the first 2 quarters, it's hard to look at the first 2 quarters of that game and not be happy with something. Right, yeah. I think everyone can agree with that. Despite how we needed to polish up that forward 50, that's exactly what I said in the watch along. I said, as long as we can polish off that last move, everything else was okay. We were moving the ball fine. We did it straight out of the blocks as well. We caught them off guard straight away. We rattled the shit out of them. They had no idea what was going on. Their players were fumbling. Their players were turning over. They looked like us last year. And we were just running a train. We were covering all the spaces. We had it all on lock, but we could not punish them on the scoreboard. And that was when we're looking into the second quarter and going, okay, much of the same. Yeah, we let them have a couple in there, but they still didn't look like they were threatening us. It finally looked like, okay, maybe we're going to play this entire game on our terms. We need to, and I said it at halftime, we need to keep this going for another 2 quarters. Can they do it? And if they can't, can Voss manage the game in a way that we are still competitive? Neither happened. Neither of them. So for me, that's the look. We can point the finger at the midfield group. We can point the finger at Harry for being an absolute traffic cone. We can point the finger at anybody we want that was just terrible. We've mentioned a few of them, right? We can look at selection integrity. We can ask questions as to why did Gherkin play, right? Why didn't the Gherks play? Okay. Why does Taylor Byrne not get a shot but Fogarty does? We can do this all night, and we're going to, right? We're not going anywhere. This is what we do. But to get pumped by that much in and the way that we got pumped, I'm telling you, Richmond next week are going like this.
Yeah.
I mean, all we want to see is that first 2 quarters again. if they rinse and repeat that first 2 quarters and a couple of
would've been
selection
close,
changes, like you said, we'll be fine. I don't understand if they don't go into the reviews at the end during the week and say this is exactly what we need to do. Look, it worked. You just fell away a little bit. Yeah, there's something fucking really wrong. If they go and try and shift and change game plays now because of that one slip, I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed.
Last year, you could switch off at half time and be content with our team. And then you go, I don't care what happened in quarters 3 and 4. And it was the worst part of the season is we'd play a half and then we'd get belted in the second half because they would just stop. It's almost like they're only capable of playing 2 quarters. And the one thing that I wanted to see this year was that stop. You know what I mean? And the first fucking game, it's happened again. And it's like, well, let's go back to process. Why did it fail? So number one, your midfield. You didn't set up properly. Number 2, your ball movement. You kicked it to 3-on-2s and 4-on-1s, high up and unders. It's not going to win you a game. They were set ready for it. So you've got to do short kicks. And you saw how much space Sydney had. It's like, are they that much fitter at the start of the season than our players? Surely not.
No, I don't.
How can they be? How can they be that much fitter than us? Blakey, Goulden, Warner, all super freaks with fitness, but they were alone, standing on their own for like 30 seconds every play. And they just waited. They held their width. That fucking Roberts he kept kicking goals. He's just by himself.
That's a half back right there.
They had
half back.
space. They had
He just
runs.
kept pushing up. That's the aggressive nature. And I'm not necessarily saying, we've got to push everyone up and just attack. But in that first 2 quarters, I don't think the best part of those first 2 quarters was our attacking prowess. It was still a bit ugly. It was still a bit disjointed. Like I said before, I think the best part of that first 2 quarters was the way we were defending, the pressure. Not just pressure in the back 6 or in the back 50. It was the pressure that we had all around the ground. Where was the fun? Yeah.
But they still wanted to do the fundamental Voss. And again, if you want to put it on Voss, right? They lock the ball into the half, but they don't score. So it's really inefficient and it takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So then when you get
very taxing.
Yeah, it hurts you because you don't score. You don't get any energy from scores. And then you're spent. So when the third quarter comes, you've spent all your energy locking this ball in, tackling, pressuring, corralling. And then they just walk through the middle of the ground and they kick a goal from 50 meters again and again and again. So the best thing that
but again, you said, we didn't get the scores to say, okay, how can we balance this out now? But we've never really been able to do that. We've never really been able to be confident with the way we ran out games.
But the best part of what we saw in the preseason was we were nailing those little 15, 20 meter kicks into the half forward. We were going from the midfield, we were going inbound, and then we were finding someone because our tall targets. There's only one now. There's only Mackay. So we're like, well, we can't just kick it to him because he's got 5 players on him. So we were hitting Ainsworth, fucking Smith, Walsh. They were all running into the forward line and we were kicking goals from that. But tonight, what did we do? We just up and unders, up and unders, up and unders. And when we did have short kicks or we got a free kick for high tackles, who had the kicks early on in the game? It was freaking Cripps from 55 meters out. He couldn't make the distance. It was Hollins. So we never had our prime kickers having the shots. So Sydney were happy to concede. They're like, hey, if you want to kick it from there, go for it because we know you're not going to make it.
You know what it was too? I feel like you could literally see the instruction of what we're trying to change. How many kicks did you see earlier? Especially that one that was the free kick. I think it was on Hollins. It was like a 6-meter kick. But whoever kicked it, I think it was Jago, still lowered his eyes. So you could see the instruction there, especially early on. We were trying to lower our eyes. And the kicks were too short or, not high enough, not reachable for marks, or say it went to a forward who wasn't, leading, for example. You could see the instruction there. And again, like so much happened in the game, it was just a fade out again. They went back, they went safe. And I think that's a big kind of theme over the Michael Voss tenure, because we were safe at selection. We're safe within the game. And within that safety is inconsistency, because you've seen how inconsistent we are within a game extrapolates to how inconsistent we are over a season, let alone 4 seasons now.
Well, there's probably going to be forced changes next week because Fogarty and Sard don't look great.
Yeah.
Sard couldn't finish the game, hamstring, his fucking hamstrings were fucked in the preseason, and they still played him. And Fogarty copped a pretty big knock on his knee. I think he finished the game. So you mentioned safety. Like I wasn't confident with our team selection. I didn't think we had enough attacking power. And I'm like, you know what? Taylor Byrne, 18 years old, small, fast, dynamic, good goal sense. We don't seem to have a player like
it's safe to the coaches. It's what they know.
Yeah. And
that's what you're going to get.
And what did they say? They said, hey, these guys were the best guys. They had the best pre-seasons, which, I can appreciate that. But it's like, you've got a guy who's unpredictable. Let him play. He should have played against Fogarty or Moya today. He should have.
Yes.
And they didn't choose him. Now, next week, they're probably going to have to choose him because now they're forced. But, would those decisions have made a difference tonight? I don't think they would have. I think it potentially would have been exposed even further. Yeah,
that was going to be my next question to you guys. If we play Dirksen tonight, if we play Taylor Byrne, do they? I don't think it would have made a difference to the point that we end up winning the game.
No.
But do we have a little bit, I guess, more stability at the back, and do we get potentially maybe 1 or 2 more goals in that first quarter or second quarter to put a stamp on things? But I don't know. I'm going to bring in somebody here for their thoughts. Now, anybody with headphones, just watch out because I'm not sure what we're getting here.
Oh, no.
We got the Don Rocco. What's going on?
On the iPhone 3, it looks like.
Yeah.
It's the Aiden angle.
He's in the hotel, so the reception's going to be... Go on, talk to me. Tell me.
Is all right? Is it all right?
It's a little bit Daft Punk. It's the connection's not too good. Do you want to try the Wi-Fi or something?
Or turn the Wi-Fi off. That's my Wi-Fi shit.
Jeez.
Or turn the Wi-Fi off. Yeah.
We're getting some angles here.
This is
Just don't drop the phone and show us you're not wearing pants.
I'm gonna remove him and get him to jump back in once I see it's all good. On Burn and Durkin, right? I'm not sure it would have made much of a difference, but what I think it would have done is shown some faith in their ability and also reward them for showing more than what other players showed in the preseason. But it goes to show, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that I asked the question. I said, what does a player need to do after what we saw from Dirksen and after what we saw from Byrne? What do they need to do to be given a shot? But he goes back to old habits and he went back to what's comfortable, I guess. And I'm not hanging shit on McGovern, by the way.
No, of course.
Other than, yes, that first little stanza in the first quarter, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. But other than that, I thought he was okay. He was pretty solid.
Yeah.
But after that, boys, just give me 1 second. I am going to add a couple people here, so I'm gonna have to remove one. And because I'm not the expert on StreamYard, do either of you want to jump back in afterwards? Or let's just go 6. Stuff it. We'll go 6.
We'll go 6. I don't mind.
Done. Let's go. Oh, I'm trying to get Rocco. There he goes. All right. Mars and Rocco are here. We've had a few people ask for your thoughts already. So,
Rocco Grasser. Rocco looks like a GTA character.
Mars looks like his head's floating. Or what?
Let's. Mars looks like he's about to absolutely have a. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if Rocco's going to blow up or anything, but I'm going to hand it to you two, and let's go.
But I don't know how you endured 2.5 hours, that 41 minutes of torture. We just got absolutely railed for 41 minutes of gameplay. The third highest score ever in a game of footy in a quarter. That is fucking embarrassing. Seriously, that was fucking embarrassment tonight. A fucking embarrassment. To all the fucking positive merchants, fuck you. Simple as that.
Amen.
Simple as that. I'm sorry. I have to say.
No, it's the truth.
This is a fucking it's pathetic. It's embarrassing. I was fucking laughing by the end of the game. It was apathy towards these fucking idiots that were out on the field tonight. Seriously. The fuck is an embarrassment. Patrick Cripps.
Maz,
Where
what
the
do you
fuck was Patrick Cripps? For fucking 2 hours. He wasn't in there. 2 hours. And then he fucking hid up in the forward line for a whole quarter. He didn't even touch the fucking ball. An embarrassment. Harry Mackay. This bloke's too worried about fucking Instagram posts. We're worried about his fucking facial cream. Fuck off. Seriously, get the fuck out of our club. No, I've had enough of him. I've had enough. Everybody was saying, oh, it's Harry's forward line. It's always been. It never fucking was. Simple as that.
No
it was
command.
always Charlie's forward line. Simple as that. It was always his forward line. Goulden, Heaney, Warner, fucking Justin McInerney, fucking Matt Roberts kicking fucking goals from the boundary, putting us in a spliff. McInerney, 4 goals and 28. A winger. It's fucking embarrassing. Nah, seriously, it was pathetic tonight. Fucking pathetic. The warning signs are in there. The second quarter, the warning signs are there. Yeah, Cooper Lord was going all right. Peter Nay was a half decent. Harry Dean won his 101 duels all night. But we're not here to play for half a fucking game. We're not here to play for half a fucking game. I want 4 fucking quarters. Apparently, Voss is the man. He got all of his help. What happened? What the fuck happened in that second quarter?
What accountability did he take? That's the same thing.
I don't know what to say anymore with them. Elijah Hollins, where did he go? He's going to be on fucking King Street tonight. Where was he? Where the fuck was he? Where the fuck was he? What the fuck was he doing? He was playing in the back line with his brother. His brother got hidden down back again. Wasn't Michael Ross, square pegs, round fucking holes. Mitch McGovern, how this bloke is on an AFL list is fucking beyond me.
Am I
Rocky
crashing
Fogarty.
out? Hell yeah, I'm crashing out. But I'm locked in.
Rocky Fogarty, the worst fucking small forward ever. He is shit. Absolute shit. He is shit. Harry Mackay couldn't get your fucking hands out. Right? He's got his hands pasted on his fucking chest. Come the fuck on, bro. What are we doing here? You're going to pay $1,500 again for a fucking membership to sit there like Bonnie Blue in a fucking cuck chair and watch her get fucking pumped all night. 12-3. 12-3. Get it through your fucking heads, bro. 12-3. It's fucking embarrassing. If I hear some positives come out of this fucking game, you're fucking deluded. Michael Voss, he's got to fucking go. He's got to fucking go. I don't give a shit if I've lost my head. He's got to go, blood. It's done. Number 1 red flag already.
Winger out.
We backed him in. What the fuck did you back in? And I saw this bloke before the fucking start of the game today. Him and Chris Davies. Here, the right kick here. Fucking bullshit. He put us in a spliff. It's embarrassing. I'm nearly done again. The season's nearly done again. In opening round, we've got fucking pumped. We got pumped for 41 minutes straight. That's a long time to last in bed. 41 minutes straight, we got fucking pumped. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Errol Goulden, what did he have? 50 touches in the third quarter. He kicked 55 million. He set up. He had more assists than fucking Dennis Bergkamp, bro. But he's just fucked. Bro, trust me. All you fucking positive merchants. No, I'm sorry. All you positive merchants, get it out of your fucking head. Get it out of your head. You're fucking deluded. There,
16 wins, Mars. 16 wins.
Lou.
Don't forget.
We changed everything, bro. Don't you get it? We changed.
Bro, we got pumped
16 wins we're getting.
41 straight. That's a lot of fucking. It's a lot of fucking. 41 minutes straight. So I could fucking tear this whole place down. We wasted our fucking money. Patrick Cripps is a fucking embarrassment tonight.
Wow.
Not across
Worst game ever in a Carlton jump. I'm sorry.
Fucking embarrassment. He was an embarrassment. Lay a fucking tackle. 38 tackles? 38 tackles against the Swans, and you reckon you're going to get it done. You're fucking having a laugh, bro. You're having a laugh. We're a bunch of trolls. We're fucking goblins. We just sit here like the we're NPCs we are. We're fucking puppets on a string, brother. That's it. Anyway, I'll let Rocco go because if I keep going, I could go for 50 minutes.
Mate, that was me for the last 20 minutes of the stream, I'm telling you. So that's why I'm calm now. I got it out. But Rocco.
So can you hear me all right? Listen, my voice is fucked because we're first there. I really was giving a racking, hammering everyone. Man, and I was listening to your stream as we were driving here. Listen, bro. Listen, all of you. Just being positive about it, man. The first half wasn't good, bro. I don't know what the fuck you were watching. The first half was not good. Man, it was scrappy goals. Yeah, they tried to push it forward a bit. They tried to move, but it was scrappy. Mate, Sydney were missing, kicking it out on the full, dropping marks. Mate, we just got away from it. As soon as they put up the pressure, 5%. It just went up 5%. We fell away. And I've been saying this. We've been looking at those practice matches. Yeah, all right. We played Geelong who didn't give a fuck. We played Brisbane who did not care. They didn't care. Soon as the pressure was on, we fell apart and we reverted back to what we know best. And that's kick it fucking long. Kick it long. There's nothing good about that. The pressure was there. Voss, I've been saying. I said it in on TAP. What did I say? Why should I trust this player? The board didn't trust him. Why should I trust him? Why didn't he go and sit on his structure again? The bloke is useless. In the last quarter, Cripper went to the forward line. For fuck's sake, he's a captain, mate. What are you doing in the forward line? Do something, mate. This I said it's about our leaders standing up when we need to, and none of them stop. Peter tried his best, mate. Harry Dean was okay, you know, good. I don't think he lost the contest, you know. Jack Smith, Cooper Lord for a half was good, you know, but seriously, McGovern, I heard one of you say McGovern was okay in that half. He was shit, bro. 2 or 3 times he fucking turned it over at the worst times. The bloke is helpless. We lost this not only at the game, at selection. Why are you putting in McGovern? Why are you putting in Fogarty? Look what are you doing? That's not a safe bet. That wasn't a safe bet. That was wrong, mate. That was one of, like I said, that was one of the worst performances I saw. And being there and watching the way they opened us up, it was embarrassing. We've gone backwards. I don't care if it's the first game. I don't think
Rocco, it's not the first game. We're 5 years into this. I understand that there's been 10 changes. I understand that to the playing list, and out there tonight there was 8 different players from round 1 last year. I get that all. Trust me, I get that all. Yeah, I fucking crashed out. But the thing is, right, we're 5 years in. We're 5 years into this. Michael Voss as a player was a fucking champion. We can all agree on that. One of the best midfielders ever, right? The midfield he has right now is fucking shit.
It's crap. It's crap, man. If
this bloke's winning the BNF, we're stuffed. We're stuffed.
And you know what it is too, right? When you've got a coach, 2022 was his first season. He comes in, all right, when you're in an off season, you expect things to change, not necessarily a whole game plan, but you expect things to change positively. So when you come back and you see the first game after months and months of preseason, and you see the first game and this happens, not only this happening, but the fact that we've seen it over and over again, nothing is going to change within a week, and nothing is going to change within the months of a preseason you've had. It's inconsistency. That's the only consistency with Michael Voss is inconsistency. Nothing is going to change because we've seen nothing change for 4 years on end. It's the only way we've been.
You're 100% that. I've been saying to everyone's been going, oh, we've got a new system, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this, we've got fucking bananas, mate.
It's not going to change.
How the fuck do you expect team fucking not only gel together with half a new team, with a new green player, and expect to come into the season, fucking finish sixth and fourth? Yous are all fucking nuts, mate. It takes great teams years to get together. Years. We can't even we expect to get it together in 6 months. And Marty's right. Let's not forget this is year 5. Year 5 for this bloke. We didn't extend his contract for a year. We just played it out. We played it out because no one else wanted to fucking come down there.
It's time to go!
Wait, before you keep going, Rocco needs to fix his internet because it's crashing out too. Bo, I don't know how you sat there and endured 3 hours and 41 minutes of a good old pumping, but kudos to you. Make sure you watch the game day recap. I'm sure you'll get plenty of views. You probably will. I'm going to watch it back just for some laughs. But mate, are you by yourself, Rocco? Are you on the Wi-Fi? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm on the Wi-Fi.
Change the Wi-Fi to 5G because it's like
get the mobile data in. Get the mobile data.
Get the mobile data going.
Or I was saying, turn the camera off because that'll help you buffer better.
Seriously, that was like we can go back over the first half and go. You know, we the first quarter. You look at the first quarter. We didn't take our opportunities. We nearly dominated.
Pressure, but it wasn't pressure that was. Yeah, it was pressure, but it wasn't any pressure that's.
Is that better? Is that better? The internet? I went on 5G.
Yeah, way better.
Much better. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, I don't know how much you got of that, but mate, that was shit, man. I kind of expected something like that. It was a little bit like hopeful that maybe we could keep it close and maybe have a miracle and win this game. But at the end of the day, that third quarter, far out, man. That's one of the most depressing quarters I've seen. 69 points, man. Talk about going down to King Street and getting fucked. There's no use, man, because we got absolutely pumped there for 40 minutes, man. 40 minutes of just getting pumped, man. They were laughing at us. We reverted back to the old style. Tell me we did it.
75 points. It's the third highest in AFL history in a quarter. The third highest.
So, boys, and this is going to fucking carry on for hours. So what now, right? So what now? You're not going to sack Vossi after one game of the season. That's not going to happen, right?
Fuck, nearly. He should have been sacked ages ago. I've told this already.
But they're not Mars, they've chosen to stick with him. So we can all talk about what we could have and could do and couldn't have done. We haven't done it. So
they've done it again, though. They've done the same thing as they did last season. They've done it again in a worse way.
So my question is, right? They're sticking with him. It's been one game. You can make player selections different, which may or may not affect. The thing for me out of this game is our on-field leaders, they failed again. Now, you guys were at the ground. Mars, you're at the ground, bro, right? You're at the ground. We can only watch it from the TV. The third quarter starts, and even the whole way through the third quarter, what were them? Because I couldn't see. I could see the same thing happening again and again and again from Sydney's perspective. They kept pushing it back, rolling someone forward. We got sucked into the ball. They'd get it forward, and then they just walked it through for a goal. Did they change matchups? Did they change tactics, or was it just the same shit? Because I couldn't see from the TV.
They changed the way they played. They started regressing. They started taking the back foot. When the pressure was applied, they started regressing. And that's the narrative that we've had. Before we get to that, I mean, if you look at the goals we kicked for the game, was there any clean passages of play that led to a goal?
Never.
Even the pressure
you look at the difference, total contrast. You flip side it to Sydney and you go, mate, they were just carving us up like a Sunday roast. Seriously, they were just getting carved up. where Errol Goulden, as I said, the warning signs are there in the second quarter. Chad Warner, he was getting off the chain. Isaac Heaney off the chain. And then Errol Goulden was the cherry on top of the cake who just absolutely willed his team. We kicked those first 2 goals and you go, okay, they were scrappy, and you go, you take them. Because at the end of the half, both of our goals were against play. They were against play, right? We come out, we kick the first 2 and go, okay, I'm just waiting for Sydney's turn in this. Sydney get their turn, and it was just open slather. We couldn't lay a tackle. Did we? How many tackles did we lay in that quarter? Does somebody know?
Like
how many?
Total.
No, I know 38, but for that quarter, it wouldn't have been more than like 5.
Be fucking
no, it wouldn't have been more than 5.
You
I can't even
remember
a tackle, Mars, to tell you the truth. I can't remember a tackle, not a tackle that
not a
stuck.
successful one.
You know, like you say what happened in that third quarter. I'll tell you exactly what happened. They were gonna, as Mars said, they were gonna have their moment, and they did. They took off. And soon as that pressure, you just saw we just fell back to the old habits. How many times did we just kick long? How many times did we start doing it? And then at the end of the day, and I said this even about the Geelong game that we played. Yeah, we won, but there were still signs that our disposal was pathetic at times. Pathetic, and it just followed through. Soon as the pressure hit, disposal started to go downhill, and we just started to kick long, started to run in the wrong positions, get caught. It's just like we just can't handle the pressure. We haven't got good enough players to handle the pressure. And you're right, the leaders out there didn't stand up. Cripper is the biggest culprit tonight. Mate, what are you doing? You're the captain. Why is he in the forward line? We need him in the middle, mate. We need him in the guts, man. Walsh tried his heart out. And then we expect Jagger at 19 years old, first game. What do we want from the kid? What do we want from the kid? You know, like I'm telling you, this team has not got it. I heard someone say before, oh, yeah, no, we got good players. Who have we got? Who have we got? Like Walsh, Wiedering? Who we got? Jagger? Who we got? Even you could say Elijah Hollins. He was hopeless today. And I heard that Seba said this. I'm going to give him credit. Seba said, and you should play him through the reserves. Don't give him a game. They're right, man. They're right. He wasn't ready tonight. He wasn't ready for the pressure, man. No.
And the conditions out there were all right. They were tough, but one team adapted to the conditions. We didn't adapt. We were fumbling. Yeah, we looked okay in the first quarter, and we had a lot of the ball and going. So, but Sydney after halftime adapted and just showed how good they are, and that's why I picked them to be in the top 4 this year. I mean, there's total contrast. I mean, one team's going to finish, anywhere from, let's say, 10th and lower, and you got one team that's going to finish probably 6th and higher. And mate, their midfield is different levels to it. It's different. And of course, the donkey Amati tonight turned into John Coleman.
From 55.
Charlie Curnow, we knew he was going to do that. He looked on. You know what?
Another thing, Mars. Yeah. Another thing, right? The first time Charlie kicked the goal, they got into a scuffle. All right, I understand that. Let's do that. What were the other 2 or 3 scuffles they had? Mate, Cripper gave away a goal, gave away a free kick after a goal, and they scored a point regardless. What are you doing? Stop that, mate. I understand we want to show toughness, but you show toughness at times, and you show toughness on the ball, right? No use doing those 2 or 3 scuffles after we were like 89 points down. Stuff that, man.
If you're going to get into him before the game. Have a crack, have a dig. But this is where I paid kudos to them, right? And I said, you know what? They didn't play the occasion. And then after halftime, after they got pummeled for 15 minutes of that first quarter, of that third quarter, the first 15 minutes, mate, they all lost their heads. And the leader, where he had to stand tall, Cripps, he didn't. He didn't stand tall. And this is what I expected him to just calm, show a bit of composure on field and go, all right, boys, just try and get the fucking ball. Lay a tackle if you don't have the ball. Just corral. Instead, they wilted like lettuce on a hot plate. They just wilted away. It was, mate, and I'm not it's not me having a go at Cripps over his career. This is just I'm zooming into this game, into this fucking game and going, where the hell were you? I was asking for this bloke for a whole half. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you in the third quarter? Where were you when you needed to be counted? He wasn't counted. He went missing. You know, Wiedering, what can he do? What can he do when the ball's getting pumped? How many injuries they have? Like 30 in that quarter. Like, what's he going to do? Harry Dean, I thought he was super tonight. He went great guns. Didn't lose a one-on-one. Lose a 1-1. Zach Williams, shithouse.
Guess who the highest tackler was tonight? Have a guess.
Harry Dean.
No, in the whole game.
Oh. Not from us.
No, he only had 2.
Mills.
Errol Goulden with 11.
11. And
how many touches did he have?
Errol Goulden, and he had 27, 28 touches. Have a guess who our highest tackler was.
I haven't checked the stats yet because I hate checking the stats in game, but
I've got them up.
Would have been more than 5.
This is the funniest part, right? This is the funny part. George Hewitt was our highest tackler at 6. Guess who second was?
Moyer.
Ashton Moyer at 4. So Patrick Cripps, 3 tackles. Sam Walsh, 2 tackles. Jagger Smith, 2 tackles. Mark Piternay, 2 tackles. And Piternay usually lays cunts out, you know. And then it goes on from there. So all of our half forwards, Ainsworth 1, Sard 0, Mackay 0, Mitch McGovern 0. Cooper Lord, who was a tackling machine, got 0 tackle. And I thought Cooper Lord had a good.
He was good.
Had a good
he
game.
Played a different type of game. He was good. He played a different type. But
so this is where I agree. I side with you about the Voss stuff. It's like last year, Cooper Lord. What did we use him for? We're like, hey, you can get your hands on the ball, but you can also nullify the opposition's best midfielder. Now, should they have played Cooper Lord on Isaac Heaney when he was toweling us up? Probably. But it just looked like a fucking dog's breakfast every centre clearance when they were just getting it out and running it out. So
in that third quarter, they did nothing to nullify.
They were witches' hats.
They couldn't tackle because they were just running past us. They couldn't. Yeah. You know, when the tackle's there to be laid and you don't lay a tackle, all right. But we couldn't even get there. They were just running, dancing around us. And there's intent, there's setup, but they just couldn't fucking get close enough to them to tackle. So it's like, are these guys the fucking coyote? Are they the coyote and the freaking
wild coyote and roadrunner?
Wild coyote.
You know what I mean? Is it the coyote and the roadrunner? Like, are they that far? I always question. They are. Well, they must be because we couldn't get anywhere near them. Jagger Smith, he's fucking fast as. So's Walsh, massive gut runner. He might not be the fastest player, but second, third, fourth efforts, he's one of the best. So I just don't understand how they can dance around us and no one gets near them.
Yeah.
As you said,
the entries, but you know what it is? Going forward of center, mate, do we know how to enter? We've got no enter button on a keyboard. There's no enter button. There's nothing. It's just a hole.
Yeah, there is. It's an arrow that points up, and they just kick it up. That's it.
Yeah. You know what? I spoke to an ex-player tonight, and he said something. He said, we haven't got smart footballers. That's it. We have not got smart footballers. And he's right. We haven't got smart footballers. Who's smart in our team? Like, we just got dumb footballers. And then we've got dumb leaders.
We've got 2 or 3. That's it.
Yep, we've got a couple there, and that's it. It's not enough, man. It's not enough. We haven't got enough good players there. It's just we got dumb footballers, like we tried this game plan. Like everyone thinks, oh, we got this new game plan. We're going to play this new game plan. Man, it's not that easy. Not only do you need the cattle, but it's not that easy to just implement this game plan over pre-season, man. We just haven't got it. And as soon as the pressure was on, mate, they just reverted back to their old habits. And that was, and another thing, I'm telling you, Harry Mackay, seriously, it's almost worthy of being dropped. That's how bad he is.
He's had an awful pre-season. He's had an awful pre-season. I've been all over him. All over him.
I want someone to answer this. What kind of a forward is he?
He wasn't commanding. That's how
he's not a leading forward. He's not a break the back forward. What is he? What is he?
He got brushed. He got brushed. They played it on. They played it on the TV. There was a moment where he was going forward to the ball. He was in. He was in front, and he had McCartan behind him, and McCartan barely put any contact on him. But he just sort of brushed him off, and Mackay just went like that, and McCartan just took the ball and got it forward. And Kane Corns, he's just like, it's inexcusable for a full forward to do that. Like, you have to put body in.
Why isn't he? Why is he trying to take every mark? Like, unless it's in a pack mark, right? Why is he trying to take every mark on the chest, man? Put your hand down, mate.
No confidence. Yeah.
I don't even think it's confidence. I just don't think he's good enough to go to the next level.
It's warning signs.
He's shown us he can do it, Buzz. He's had big goal years. Correct, but why has he dropped back? This is what I can't understand. How has he gone backwards so far? How has he regressed so far?
He's still worried about his Insta reels. It's all about Insta reels for him.
I've said it before. I've said it before. If you've ever met him, he is intimidating on how big he is. His hands are like fucking 3 times the size of a normal guy's hands, but he plays small. Yep. He doesn't play big. He doesn't look at himself in the mirror and go, fuck, I'm the biggest bloke out there. Whoever comes near me, I'm going to kill him. He's just not that type of player. When he's on, you can't stop him. But unfortunately, when he's on, he's once, twice a season. And for the rest of the season, it's mediocrity. And unfortunately for our team, with Kerno going, you need more. But we're not going to get more. How old is he? Is he 28? He's not changing as a player. He's not changing as a player. He is what he is. So, if he plays like that, I'm sure he'll come back and he'll put some mongrel into his game and chase down tackle and take some big marks in the forward line. But tonight he was a whimper. And we can't have one game where he plays like that. We're not good enough for him to have a game like that.
You need leaders to be
just dog shit, and those entries into the forward line, once that pressure hit, are back to what we used to be like. Just boot it out along there. As soon as you get the ball pressure, it's almost like give it to someone else. It's your problem. It's not my problem anymore. And that's the issue. And kicking it back. And the Swans knew it. It's almost they just waited. It's almost like they just kept playing their game, just waiting for us to falter. And then soon as we faltered, bang, they took off. And they knew that it was about to happen. Peter?
How's it going, mate? Sorry, guys. Pretty good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Far out. Yeah, I mean, you sat next to us, so.
Oh, mate, that was a lot of bands, and that was probably the only exciting part of the game. I'll leave it at that. But I'm just going to ask yourself the question.
There's no mic.
Oh?
I can hear him. Go.
Yep. Sorry, I was just going to ask a very quick question here, and it's based on Apple Crumble. Do we call this right now, or do we wait until Richmond or round 7?
The Apple Crumble.
Yep, good old Apple Crumble, because I don't know. I mean, the intent was in the first half. But again, we missed the opportunity. So it is one. I know people are going to say that, yeah, this is the one thing. But how we just empty that 50? Like, it's cranking back.
Actually, the mic is
Yeah, I can't hear him at all.
Sorry, mate. Yeah.
The mic is cooked.
Very muffled, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just get off. All right, mate. Cheers.
No, that's all right. I was listening to what he was saying. I was trying to make of it. So he was saying something about Michael Voss, or is the Apple Crumble coming out? I'm waiting one more week. If Mate, seriously, the apple crumble, one more week. It'll be on the table in the Jumper Punch studio on Tuesday night. The Sarah Lee apple crumble. Because seriously, mate.
Can I be a bit of devil's advocate?
Yes.
I'm far from positive, and I said this earlier, but you guys might not have heard the start. But it was evident in that first quarter that we were doing different stuff. That was not the way we usually play or end of the year last year. So I know it might have looked different on the game. On the TV, I know when you watch it back, if your opinion might change a bit, but although we weren't perfectly clean, it was evident there was something different in a good way.
They were trying to change.
It was exciting. Yeah, you could see it. But the second, like Rocco said, the regression was fucking immense. Like, it was so quick that we just fell back to shit. It wasn't funny. So I hope next week they go back into this game and say, let's do the quarter one again. Let's do it for longer and see what happens. And hopefully against a lesser opposition, it holds up. But let's see. We don't know.
Well, they have to. They can't regress. That's the way they want to play footy. They have to play like that again.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Are they good enough? And are they strong enough in the mind to continue doing that even when things get hard? And it just showed tonight that as soon as the pressure's on, they just revert back to it. And it's a lot of the old players that do it.
It is the old guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but they can't get it out.
Habits are hard to break. If you've been a fucking smoker,
that comes from coaching.
If you've been a smoker for 30 years, you can't just fucking flick the smokes and say, I'm done. So our players have been playing this fucking way, some of them their whole fucking careers. When times get tough, what do? They just get it. They bang it forward. They don't compose themselves. The most composed player on the field today was Jagger Smith and fucking Harry Dean. It was their first fucking game.
So they haven't been poisoned yet, but now they have.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the problem with our team is, like you say, when the pressure comes on, they revert back to old habits. So you've got a number of things you can do. The players that go back to old habits, you drop them. You don't give them 5 games. You say, hey, 1 game. So your McGoverns, your Hewitts, your fucking Cripps, whatever. And again, I love some of these players, right? But you go, Burn, you're in. Jordan Boyd, haven't seen you. You're in. Fucking Dirksen, you know what, mate? You're pretty safe behind the ball. You're in. And you just fucking make examples of senior players that want to go back in their shells when the whips are cracking. So we can all fucking say what we want. Are they going to do it? Because the same applies to the coaching staff, the team selection panel. If you're going to go, we're going to back our fucking players in and they're going to make mistakes for 3/4 of the year until the season's over, we're going to have the same result as we've got as last year. So to me, it's like the pressure was on. They didn't handle the occasion. They got back into the old habits. The coaching staff got back into their old habits. And we got beaten by 10 goals again in the fucking second half. So what are we going to do different next week? Are we going to do the same shit or are we going to fucking make changes?
It all starts with selection again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because, again, I think not that we lost it at selection, but that was already the first sign of a problem when they start putting McGovern. And that when they start putting these players in, I thought to myself, Voss is just being safe here. He wants a bit of experience. And you know what? It was the wrong thing to do. It was Now, what are they going to do next week? Like, I can't see Voss, right? Because at the end of the day, it all comes down onto him, right? I can't see Voss next week all of a sudden go, you know what? I'm just gonna do the right thing. He's still worried about his own position.
Well, he's
still worried about his own position.
He's going to be forced to. He's got Sard, who's injured now. Went off the grid, didn't finish the game off, and Fogarty as well. So Burn probably comes in automatically, and for Fog, and then you're probably going to have a Cowan or a Carroll or the likes to take over Sard's spot. They're apparently fit.
What about McGovern? Do you play him again?
I don't persist with McGovern, even though he was serviceable. Dirksen, you've got to give him a crack.
You know what?
To me, McGovern was held. McGovern was held as a depth player. No, they wanted him gone. So he was held as a depth player. Makes no sense. And in the first fucking game, they reward him a game. Exactly. They reward him a game. Now, I didn't get it when I saw that he was the first fucking name I saw on the list.
Yeah.
I sighed when I'm like, fucking
Everyone.
this guy again.
I agree.
It's time to go!
I know Zach had to go, so
Hey
thank
guys,
you.
can you hear me now?
Yes, better now.
Man, sorry, I got rid of the mic. It's absolutely useless. Sorry about that.
Nah, that's all right, bro.
I was gonna say, do we persist with this? Do we now call this the apple crumble, or wait until if we do whatever happens against Richmond, or do we just leave it until round 7 or round 6?
It's the blueberry crumble, mate. It's the blueberry crumble.
Well, I'll take it. You know what? I will take it. I'll take it as far as I'm concerned. In that first half, yeah, we saw the intent was there. Execution is going to take time for this team to gel, but now we've got a few players out. Now, Voss has been forced to. Now, he could have had an opportunity to say, if I'm not forced to, I should be able to say, okay, Dirksen, you've done well in the preseason, you're in. McGovern out. Again, he was being too safe. But I don't think it was just lots on selection. It wasn't just on our bloody mids in that third quarter, which was it? How many was it? 69 points, or was it?
Nah, 75. 75.
Yeah, 75.
The third highest
Again.
ever. Third highest ever. Fucking joke. It's actually it's embarrassing. Every year we find a way to embarrass ourselves even more. Every year.
Yeah.
Last year it was Epstein's Island in round 1, 41 points up, and copped an absolute hiding, and it was a 60-point turnaround. This one was like a 4,000-point turnaround. They kicked the third highest in a quarter ever in the AFL. I can't get it out of my brain. I'm going to start headbutting this wall like haywire from Prison Break.
And that was after, you got to think about it, that was after we kicked 2 goals to be 20 points.
Yeah.
Like, we kicked the first 2 goals. That was the whole thing. And then we just fell away. Like, come on, bro, man. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Even that second quarter, right, where we're actually playing out terms, Sydney also had their opportunities as well, and they could have easily overtaken us in that second quarter. And that's where the warning signs started really coming in. And I went in this game thinking, if we can at least give it a crack, we can get within 5 goals. And I know the heart's going to tell you Carlton by 1.7, but reality sometimes doesn't work like that.
I'll bring in Jad. Jad, you ready? He'll give me the head nod, or he's just eating. He's ready. There we go. How you going, bro?
Hey, good boys. How are you? Munching on some watermelon.
Should I say, how are you coping, bro?
That's the fruit of champions.
I am coping. I'm coping, but
better than me.
There's just some things that are just so alarming. There's some things that were positives, and then I just jumped on now, so I don't know what you guys have touched on. Just
go for it, man. Just you touch on whatever you want.
I like Michael Voss. He's a touch point. So touch points. Touch points.
I'll shift the energy, and we'll all start enjoying the moments together. How about that?
The
magic moments,
did you enjoy? Moments that we got. Moment when the siren went, and then we just all got to leave.
Yeah, that's probably it. Who the fuck speaks like that? This guy, there is something wrong with him where he speaks like we've just won a premiership and we need to slow down and smell the roses, enjoy the moments, boys. Like, we haven't won enough to think like that. Anyway, look, the one thing I liked was the passion. Okay, you guys, some of you may disagree, but I enjoyed the biffs and the fights and all that shit, because one that showed me that the players bought into the occasion. They wanted to beat Charlie. They wanted to win. Tick. It became ill-disciplined at times, sure. But overall with that, I enjoyed that. It told me that they fucking cared, because so many times I've come on to Blue Abroad or here or wherever, And I've just lamented the fact that they don't buy into rivalries. Like when we play Collingwood, oh, it's just another game. It's just another game. Don't buy in too much. Blah, blah, blah. So that was a good shift. Fair enough.
But Jad, just quickly before you go on with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just I enjoyed the first one when Charlie kicks the goal and then they attacked him. I enjoyed it. The rest are bullshit, bro. The rest are bullshit, man. The rest of those fights were absolute rubbish, man. What are we doing now? That's enough now. They just kept on. It felt like they were just getting pumped, and then it was a way. It was their way of showing a bit of toughness, you know, while they were getting pumped. I didn't enjoy the second and third one. I didn't enjoy the one that Cripper gave away a free kick and almost cost us another goal straight after that goal. I didn't enjoy that. That's enough. You showed your toughness. Do it at the start of the game. Now, play the game, man. Forget about trying to punch on with people. Every time they punched on, it was after a goal. After they got rammed in the ass, they decided to show a bit of fight. Bro, I'm not into that. You want to do it.
Yeah, but do you know what that is, though? The way I read that is, and fair enough that you feel that way. I'm not going to argue with you, but the way I read that is they're frustrated and they're embarrassed. They were getting fucking pummeled. That was embarrassing, and I reckon they felt that, and rightly or wrongly, that's how they chose to take it out. But look, those fights after the game was gone by those points. They were just bloody embarrassed.
What's the fighting for then, Jad? What's the fighting for, man?
It's just an emotional reaction, Rocco. It's just it's not something that they planned, or it's not something that they said, oh, we're going to do this to look tough. I just think it was the emotion. If you heard them talk, if you heard Haywood and Florin especially talk before the game, they would kill to win this game. Like, look, I can understand it. I'm not don't take me wrong. I'm not telling you not to be upset, but I also understand. I feel like I understand why it happened, and I don't think it was false. In the past, I think it was a false, a bit of, let's save face a bit, let's do a fake punch on. But I just felt tonight it was just a genuine reaction to being bloody embarrassed, and they were embarrassed. Like, it is what it is.
I want to say back to each other, Jed, to back you up. Even though the fights were bullshit, I'm here with Rocco. I'm sort of in the middle. I like the fact that you said they'll passionate.
Keep going. So
when
what else did you notice about the game, Jed?
Thanks. The bad habits, like, I don't know about you guys, but when I see like a marking contest coming up and the ball's in the air, and let's say Wiedering's there and he's wrestling with his man, and then 2 or 3 of our own players come over the top of him. Yeah. To me, that is like a defense mechanism where, if we all go for the same ball, it looks like we're all trying to mark it, right? And then inevitably the ball spills out the back to your opponent that you just left. And like if I'm a player, right, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. If I'm in a team meeting and they bring that up, what am I going to say to Voss? Oh, you can't. It's not my responsibility what happens after that contest. I went and tried to mark the ball. I did my bit. I went and tried to mark it. That's why I hate when I see players committing to the one bloody ball, and we always seem to do it when things unravel. Go watch. You'll see contests where we've got 3 of our boys trying to mark the same ball. And it's just a fucking thing that comes back to coaching. Why are they allowed to do that? Why are they not coached to stay with your man? Don't create despair at the back by trying to mark a ball that you're 5% chance of marking anyway. It's just a way out. That's what, like what you said with Rocco, when you said with the Biffs, they're hiding. They're the things that I see, and I say they're hiding. Saad going for a mark and spoiling Wiedering. He's hiding.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's absolving himself of responsibility for when the ball spills out and he's got to fight for the ball one-on-one. I hate seeing that. It's just, they're the things that I just fucking despise. Over-committing to the ball. How many times did Sydney benefit a goal today up the back because we had 3 or 4 players commit to the one fucking contest?
And that's
structure, that's game plan. You know what I mean? Like they've been working on something apparently, you know, but that is part of structure and game plan. Hold your position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If someone's going forward, hold your position, you know, hold your width. Make sure you stay on your man. Don't be lazy and all go for that contest. And again, I said this before, it seemed to be that when the pressure started to lift 4, 5, 6%, we just reverted back to the old habits because that's what we know. That's what we're used to.
And you know the biggest tell, Rocco, is how many times tonight did you see Charlie wrestling 2 opponents for a ball on top of his head?
Never.
Yep.
Fucking never. Maybe never. He led at the ball and he was playing in space the whole night. I don't think I saw him once playing a congested forward line and running into his own opponent and tripping over someone. And
they let him have it. He didn't exit.
They knew how to play him, mate. They've given him a role. They knew exactly how to play him, you know.
And he
exit the 50.
What you're saying, Mus, he didn't exit 50, and yet he was in so much space. That's coaching. I will not buy into this thing where people say, "Oh, give Voss time. Voss this, Voss that." It's not him; it's the players. I'm a firm believer that everything is coaching. I really am.
It all starts from there, doesn't it?
He's
Dad?
doing this
and
now.
what Mars is just saying
that.
now, it's the 5th year, bro. What have you seen different? It's
5
the
years,
5th year.
When he speaks, I just asked Terry this, okay? When he speaks, do you guys leave that interview thinking, yeah, he makes sense. Yeah, I get what he's saying. Because honestly, I leave it thinking, trying to decipher what he's fucking said.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's saying. He doesn't know how, he really struggles to articulate the game in any sort of like tangible way. He can talk to you for weeks about courage, pressure, heart, fights. He's very good at those things. Motivation, he's great at that. But when it comes to anything that's on the field, tactics, matchups, zones, he doesn't know. He can't speak. He can't articulate it because he doesn't know how. And that's the sad thing. And that's why I just don't understand. I don't understand what we're meant to do now.
I need to watch the interview. I need to decipher the Da Vinci Code. I need his.
Here we go. Play it.
Here we go. I need to. I need to. It has to happen. It has to happen. Give me a sec.
Oh, it's going to be torture. Fuck me.
It's going to be fucked. Wait up. Give me 1 sec. Sorry, people.
That's all right.
Here we go. Am I sharing? Can you see it?
This spinning wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good. I don't even know if this is going to work. But anyway, let's go.
Michael, what was the frustrating part of that second half? Where did it break down for the group?
Intensity just drops significantly.
They
absolutely pulled up their pressure around the ball, probably across the whole ground. But we lost some pretty important territory in our stoppages. Their centre square bounce was too good. Their best players got going and had significant influence on the game in the second half.
All right, can I just stop it there? How didn't
I
you
got
have
a point? Oh, sorry. Do you want me to go? Sorry, mate.
What happened?
Just there. Exactly what I'm talking. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Exactly what I'm talking about. Voss, what broke down in the second half? Intensity. That's not tangible. That's in the column of fight and courage and spirit. That's not telling me what happened on the bloody ground that caused the breakdown. This is what I'm saying. He can't articulate these things. He can't articulate what's actually happening on the field. Intensity. The intensity dropped. Is that why everything happened?
We'll keep going.
Intensity dropped. Kicked first 2 goals after half time. We're thinking the game's in pretty good shape. And for the next 20 odd minutes, it was watching the ball go through the opposition's goals, and no matter what we did, we couldn't stop it. So whether we adjusted what we were trying to do, eventually we'll sort of somewhat stuck in our back half. So we had to sort of go away from that and see whether we could get the scoreboard ticking back over again, because we just lost some important territory around stoppage, and I'd say that their best players really got going, and we just couldn't stop it.
Gave away
But why couldn't he stop it? Why didn't he have a plan in place that you're coming up against Chad Warner, Isaac Heaney, Errol Goulden? How do you not have a plan to combat this? How? Or even try? I don't get it.
It was, can I say this? It was very similar to that last year's game in that third quarter when it really opened up, especially that third quarter. Even though the squad was different when Charlie's playing for us, but that third quarter reminded me of that last year. Even though it was by 75 points, that's why I was very skeptical about this first half in terms of the fact that we missed our opportunities, we couldn't execute. Yes, I know. It's usually coaching, but I think it's also execution as well. That's why I keep saying it's not just boss. Even though we made all these changes to all these assistant coaches and etc.
No, we'll keep going.
2 free kicks straight after goals in that third term. Do you think the players got overawed by some of the emotion in that environment?
No, I don't think so. Look,
bullshit. Yes, they did. That is a tap line. That's a fucking tap line. Of course they did. They got sucked into the emotional vortex. They did. I don't give a shit whatever he says. I've
got to go back and see it because I haven't, sitting on the interchange bench, I don't have the privilege of being able to look at all the instances. But what's important
sit in the box, mate.
What I always maintain first and foremost is that we'll defend ourselves and we'll protect our own. Obviously those 2 particular scenarios didn't go our way, so I sort of reserve judgment on that just for now. But there was plenty of others where, we'll find the flag for our teammates. Obviously there's, different melees that were happening right across the ground. I don't know what was behind those. But what I do want to see is the Carlton jumper defending their own jumper. I'm never ever going to ask my players not to do that.
Of course he's going to say that. What else are you going to say? But you done it when they've already kicked 12 goals.
Yeah.
It was like fake bravado. After Carlton was at 10 and 12 goals, it's like every time there was a melee, it's just like fake bravado.
Exactly.
I mean, the first one, okay, I'll tick, fair enough, because of that first Charlie goal. But the rest, unfortunately...
Anyway.
Something you spoke about before the game, obviously, so much heightened emotion around, obviously, Charlie going to Sydney and the couple of boys that you had come down.
No, there's more at stake for us than that. So do you make it about one person or do you want to make it about our team and our club? So didn't come up in conversation for us pre-game. We're sort of like...
I'm sure it did come up, Vossi.
Yeah,
obviously, you're going to address that in the room. You're definitely going to address that. You're coming up against Charlie Curnow. The bloke's he's left you hanging. You're telling me that his name wasn't on the board, but say, don't play the occasion, play the game. You're telling me he didn't address that.
Bullshit.
That is fucking bullshit. That's bullshit. That is some fucking cap.
You know what, Mars? I believe him. And that's the problem.
No, I don't.
I believe him. This is what I'm saying.
He can address Charlie Curnow.
He's not ruthless enough. He's not ruthless enough. If he was a ruthless Ross Lyon, Clarkson type of coach, he would have had Charlie's name board in capital letters on the whiteboard.
Exactly. You're 100% right.
Locked in the way we wanted to play, and I think we saw that. You saw a first half where we played some really strong football. We were able to transfer some of the things pre-season into that game. Really liked the way we were moving the football. Making some good opportunities forward of centre. So the game was looking really healthy for us. We're winning some really important battles that we'd assigned people to do. But the challenge for us is the consistency of being able to do that.
And that's what I've been saying is finding consistency throughout the year, but not just even in the year, through quarters of footy. How consistent are they going to be? And against the top teams, how they get found out when the pressure comes on. How consistent are you to go back to what you do and keep going and going and going again? just don't have it yet. They don't have it, and they don't have the cattle to do it, to execute for long enough. I don't think. That's what I think.
In regards to, I know Boss wants to crash and bash with delays, but is it really sustainable over more than 2 quarters? Even like last year, or when we actually, is it that sustainable? Even if you got injuries as well.
I guess it's also the way you adapt as well and how you change. So when they went to the next level, the next gear, what do? Do we stay composed or do we get sucked in again? And we got sucked in again.
Yeah.
We'll go again.
You stray from it, we've seen what happens. And what I'll say is that our intensity absolutely did drop. Now, whether it was that after a couple of goals, was that after 4, where we dispirited through that? I mean, I'll go back and have a look at that. But when we lost our pressure around the ball and we were losing our contests and we lost important metres from stoppage, they were just able to dominate field position and they're kicking them from everywhere. So we're going to have to look back at that pretty closely.
New year brings optimism most seasons. Similar fate at the start of last year. How difficult will it be to pick this group up off the back of?
No, there's a good body of work. There's a good body of work there. We're sitting at round 0, or opening round, as I'm told that I'm supposed to say. So you put that in context for the whole season. Completely different because completely different personnel that we've got there. So we've got a new style of football that we're trying to play. We obviously clearly couldn't execute that for as long as we wanted to tonight, and that put us under an extreme amount of pressure. So we'll go back and look at that, and we'll see what we can learn from it, and then we'll make our adjustments, train hard, and then we'll turn up next week and we'll go again. But there's been some really good positivity coming in this season, and the preseason games say so. We finished games off really strong through the preseason games, so they were some of our best scoring quarters in the second half. So at the moment, let's make it one game, but it's up to us to make a change. And obviously, we weren't able to stop them.
It's been one game for a long time. I've heard that.
He's referencing practice game scoring, mate.
Yeah.
Is this bloke for fucking real? Our best scoring. What did he say? Our best scoring quarters in the 2 practice games.
Let's go back.
There's been some really good, positivity coming in this season, and the preseason games say so. We finished games off really strong through the preseason games, so they were some of our best scoring quarters in the second half. So at the moment, let's make it one game, but it's up to us to make a change. And obviously, we weren't able to stop that momentum tonight.
Adam, so
I don't want to yell. Look, I don't want to yell and swear. I don't want to. But so intensity and pressure. So that's it. That's the reason why all that happened.
Nothing to do with
like, am I losing brain cells, or I'm hearing him? Yeah.
He's an NPC. He's got to be AI generated. He's got to be. He's got to be AI generated. He spins the same line in a different way. He goes on ChatGPT and he's got the basic option, not even the best, right? And it just spit me out the same thing 5 different times, and he uses a 5 like.
Mate, he reminds me of our government at the moment in the Senate when they're asked a question and their answer is, I'll take that on notice. I'll take that on notice. He how many times has he said in this press conference, I've got to go back and watch that? What are you fucking watching through the game? How have you had to say that so many times? I need to go back and watch that. What are you watching?
What happened? What happened to Michael Voss, the player? Like this isn't him. This is a corporate. This is a middle management corporate accountant.
It's trained out of him. It's all flowers and happiness now, and not the intense beast that he was.
Middle management. I love it.
He's middle management accountant. Yeah. That's what it is.
We'll get it looked at enough. And obviously we weren't able to stop that momentum tonight.
Adam Zard came off with hamstring tightness. Is it just tightness, or is there any worry about actual?
We'll get it looked at enough to get looked at. So we'll obviously assess not to come back on the ground. So we'll obviously take a whatever day it is now. We'll probably get a scan the next, I guess, 24, 48 hours and find out exactly where that lies.
Fuck. He actually doesn't know what day it is.
Oh my God.
What day it is. He's been put in a spliff for an hour. That's why. Holy shit.
Whatever day it is.
What?
Clearly, Joe, you can pick yourselves up. What are the positives that you take out?
Thursday, bro.
7 new players and 2 debutants.
Yeah, first half was we had some great footy, but we really let ourselves down. In fact, sometimes you got that real contrast between showing what really let ourselves down. In fact, sometimes was we had some great footy, but we really let ourselves down. In fact, sometimes you got that real contrast between showing what really defines us and then what doesn't.
10 years.
And so when you look at, Harry Dean today, how he went down back, I mean, he had some, amazing moments and some amazing moments of composure.
I agree. But again, we're going back to the individuals, not team. Like he was super. He actually went super for a first game. I thought he was fantastic. But again, he's gonna go to Jagger Smith. He's gonna go to Ollie Florent. But again, I'm looking at this as a collective, not just individuals. We're past that. We're got to be past that. We have to be.
Quick question: with all the changes, I thought they were gonna give him all the give him the free reign to say what he really wants. But this is so fucking scripted. It's not even funny, man.
No, do you know my thing? I think this is him. I don't think he's scripted anymore.
No, it is him.
This is him. This is how he is, and that's hard. That's terrible for us to even think because
you can't lie.
He's saying everything he wants to say because he's not able to articulate in any other way. This is him, and that's the worst thing.
You can't lie for 5 years. This is genuinely him.
Yeah,
you can't lie.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy.
With, Jagger Smith going through midfield, he's learned a lot about his game. That's going to ultimately make us better. We forget that he's played his first game because we've sort of.
No, I don't forget. That he just played his first game and been probably the best midfielder out there for us, or with Cooper Lord. Like, no, we don't forget. You forget.
We've probably spoken.
You don't know what fucking day it is.
About him a lot, but he hasn't played his game of football. So for him to be able to get that exposure against that midfield was, he'll learn a lot from that.
Yeah, he'll learn a lot from the others being so shit, and he's going, shit, where am I?
So yeah, the gelling of the new pieces, we've got some work to do clearly to consistently get it to where we want, but we should have a really strong visual of what it looks like.
You spoke about the new personnel. Do you take a step back and look at and think there was too much change in the space of one off season?
Not enough.
No. It's I don't know how you can quantify that.
Well, just looking at this result from the second half.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, you dumb cunt.
Is this the first time he's ever clapped back at a reporter? It's like genuinely, he's actually pissed off.
No. It's
How do you quantify?
I don't know how you can quantify that.
Well, just
what's with the big word like quantify? Relax, Ant-Man. You're not in the Marvel universe.
I love the reporter's response. The second half. That's how you can quantify it. Look at the second half, mate.
Yeah, I don't think you go about changing your whole sort of approach in 30 minutes. It wasn't a great 30 minutes. I think we can accept that.
No, it was 41 minutes to be exact.
We've seen a lot of good stuff over the course of the preseason that gives us great confidence that we can correct it quickly and get to work. We don't step away. We've got work to do. So we're not stepping away from that. Hugely disappointing. I know the boys were looking forward to doing a heap better than that. But we'll review it pretty hard. We'll correct what we need to, and hopefully, obviously, we get that better execution come next week.
Do you have any concerns that the Ollie Florent strain need to Isaac Heaney?
No, I didn't actually. No, I didn't see that particular instance. I saw the knee. Yeah. That's it. I saw Heaney walk off. That's as much as what I saw.
He did look down before he did it.
That's it. Cool.
I don't know if you saw the replay. You probably haven't yet, but wait till you watch it. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Cool. Yeah, that's it. Cool for the rest of your coaching.
Mate.
That, man.
This is like taking block box, mate. Jeez, mate.
Man, I've heard the same lines from him. I don't know what are you going to say. I know people are going to go, "What else is he going to say?" But I've heard the same lines from him. Like, no reporter asked him, "How didn't you combat? Like, did you have a plan to combat Errol Goulden, Isaac Heaney, Chad Warner when they got off the chain?" Like, they turned into witches' hats. No one went to them. They were free. They had that much land. Oh my God.
He's lucky they didn't ask him because he wouldn't have had an answer. He would have just said something like, "Oh, the intensity dropped. We just weren't able to stop him." That's what he would have said. He doesn't have an answer. This is what I'm saying. He doesn't have an answer to tactical questions.
Apparently, I just saw, Gokhan. He said Florent apparently didn't shake Mills's hand at the end of the game as well.
Yeah, good. Good on him. Good.
Should have whacked him and copped 15 weeks and just gone on a holiday for 15 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, what has he done in the preseason, though? What have we done? The second quarter, there was alarm bells. Like I was saying, there's alarm bells here. The way that their midfield started to get going, they just didn't execute on the scoreboard. I mean, if you go look back at that game and you watch that second quarter, they didn't execute on the scoreboard. If they execute on the scoreboard, it would have been 30 goals. Trust me, I'm telling you, go watch that second quarter back and you just go and watch their midfielders go to work and you're just going, I was just waiting. I'm going, when they're going to start actually turning these opportunities into goals. And that third quarter went like that. After the first two, we just went, you look up and Goulden just started finding the footy and just go, okay, you got to clamp this bloke. Like within 5 minutes, he had like 8 touches. And I'm just going,
it was 8.
He was just going, I was just out there. I'm losing my mind. I'm like, just put someone on him. Put 2 people on him. Put some work into him. Like no one did anything. Cripps just that third quarter from Cripps, I didn't expect that. I actually didn't expect that. He looked old and slow out there against that midfield. And I know that they're all fast and quick, but he was made to look old. Made to look
He didn't look prepared in a way to me. And albeit from me to doubt a Brownlow medalist preparation, but I'm just thinking back, like he did State of Origin. He wasn't with the group, and then he flew in a week ago. I don't know if he's just missed the trick in his preparation this year. Hopefully he'll get better as the season goes. But here's the thing, I think the whole team will get better as the season goes.
Yeah, they'll find.
There's no doubt. I reckon we'll have some good wins, and we'll probably have some poor losses. But I think it's going to be a bit like that. But where I doubt it is even when we improve, I don't think the ceiling for our improvement is going to be that high under Voss.
Yep.
So we will improve, but I don't think we're going to get like a Hawthorn style improvement.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We will reach a certain level, and then I guess it's going to be up to them to decide if a new coach has been the one to take us to the next step. And that's the thing. That's this whole thing just feels wasted to me. Like we will improve, but to what extent? It's not going to be that high.
How high is the ceiling? How far can we raise the floor? You know what I mean? It's just like
it's capped with this guy. This is the cap. And I said to Terry, but I don't know what you think about this, but they kept him, and they redid the whole department around him.
Yeah.
Is there a world in which the reason they did that is so when they sack this head coach and they install his replacement, that the club doesn't unravel?
They're stable. Yeah, absolutely.
So they've built the scaffolding. It's solid.
Maybe.
And then so now when they take out the main piece and they put a new one in, everything is still solid around it.
Yeah, but
I'm thinking,
doesn't a new head coach usually bring his assistants too? A couple of assistants?
Yeah, maybe a couple. Yeah,
but we can't.
But
how are you going to do that? They're all brand new coaches now in there. The soft cap you can't do it with the.
Because maybe
my conspiracy theory brain is like this is all planned. There's a grand plan unraveling.
Maybe
I don't know.
I agree with you. I think the next coach is in the ranks. I personally think that exact thing. The scaffold's there. They're going to move the Voss, and one of those other pieces will just rabble its way up, so the rest doesn't shift too much. I think there's a conspiracy behind why it's only been 1 year. It was a rough back in at best. They're not expecting much from him. Anyway,
I just can't believe we're here. I can't believe that hunt from the second quarter.
Just another straw man, mate. Just another straw man.
It's pretty fucked how they gave up. They gave up, didn't they?
They put the feet up and said, "Fuck, this is too hard." Even in the last quarter, they said it was too hard. I mean, how many did they kick in the last quarter? I'm not sure. Again, fucking, they gave up. They could have kicked 10 more if they really wanted to, Sydney. They could have kicked 10 more. That last quarter, they kicked 6 goals. They kicked 6-3. Bro, in a half of 40, they've kicked 18 goals, 6.
You know who I felt for?
Nearly every game.
You know who I felt bad for? I felt bad for Harry today. Oh, man, he's watching Charlie get that service, and then he's having to deal with that shit.
Yeah, I know, but
he doesn't help himself.
Yes, correct.
No, he's not above criticism. I'm not saying that, but overall, fuck, look at that. I was watching him trying to get to these balls that they're kicking to him. Fuck me, 2 on him, to the pocket, at his knees. Fuck, he's got to outmark Pito because Pito doesn't, for some fucking reason, doesn't understand that it's the key forward's job to mark the ball, not you, Ruckman. Oh, there's just no smarts. There doesn't seem to be any understanding of each other's roles here.
Yeah, I agree with Rocco Moro. I felt sorry for the other Harry. He had to look
Dino,
at you know what I mean? Like
showed a bit.
As well.
You know, Harry Mackay's got painted on hands. They're on his chest. Mate, get your hands out. You're already 205 centimeters. By the time you extend, mate, the amount of free kicks he would get, oh my God. Amadi, this donkey looked like fucking hell. Like
yeah, that's a good point, man. How does Amadi play the role more effectively than Harry, especially in the forward 50? On the wing, Harry's great. He's the great outlet mark, but in the forward 50, fuck, I don't know.
And the way that their forwards controlled, then like Logan, they had Logan McDonald, they had Amadi, they had Charlie Curnow. You know, you got Paplu who can get in and around. The addition of Malcolm Roses, he's a handy footballer. I mean, you look at him and you just go, all right, after, you know, Charlie Curnow, Papley, there's a couple of others, but they just gave him enough time and space. They afforded him time and space to run in. And he wasn't playing up the ground. He was playing one out of the square and just went to work. And you knew that was going to happen at Sydney. You knew that was going to happen. He looked like he looked $1 million out there. He looked like he could have kicked 10 if he really wanted to. He probably should have kicked 5 minimum. He should have kicked 5.
Who's this?
Charlie.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. I miss him, man.
Of course you do. He's a gun. He's a gun.
No,
like he says he's not a gun. You're deluded. You don't know football.
And you've heard it all preseason, yeah. Oh, we don't need him. We'll be better for him. This and that. And maybe that's true in 3 years.
Maybe.
But for the now, we have lost a generational, genuine superstar key forward. Fuck me. This is the new king of Sydney, mate. Fuck, he looked at home, man. That hurt me. I'll be honest with you. That fucking hurt me seeing him celebrate in that jumper like he used to celebrate in our jumper. Fuck,
mate. That's what
we miss him. I hear what you're saying, but my heart fucking hates him. And I
can't stand it.
I was happy to see him go because I was sick of his fucking lackluster approach. So I struggle to watch guys like him that have all that fucking talent and they can't get their head out of their ass to put that talent in practice when you've got a team that's struggling around you so badly.
But you know what?
Is that on
do you know my point about that?
On the coach?
Yes.
He can't manage his ego?
Well, that's to my point, though, because I get what you're saying and I agree with you. Yeah. However, I'm in the middle because it's just like the Jack Silvani thing. I always look at the source. What happened in our club that made him so disenchanted with the place? There's always a reason these things happen. And I want to know, was it worth losing that relationship to get to the end? Was it worth it? Like this sort of player comes along once every how many years?
Yeah,
I want to know. I want to know who's at fault. What broke the relationship down? Is Voss not able to massage different types of personalities and egos? What is it?
That all on a leader though. Like I hear what you're saying. Don't get me wrong.
That's right.
No matter how good a leader you are, you can be the world's greatest leader, and there are people that you're never going to be able to get on side. It's just as simple as that. But the thing with think about a workplace, right? Everybody's worked in a workplace where they fucking hate the boss, but you hang around because the guys you work with, you enjoy the company of them, you get along with them, you got a good culture going with that group, but you hate your bosses. But you grit it and you get on with it and you do your best at work. So at times, that leadership spot doesn't matter as much as the team around you. So this is again, this is my opinion. It doesn't excuse Voss from this conversation at all, but it puts more onus on him as an individual and the lack of his ability to want to be a part of that team or bring that team around himself. Now, granted, he's got to Sydney. It looks like he's in a good spot, but he's in a honeymoon period. I'm I'm convinced he will fall back into that shittiness because he can't help himself. I get reminded, and I'm sorry I'm rambling here, but it's something that irks me. You know, there's footballers are like, you know, the musicians in life, like your Kurt Cobains and those people that just couldn't, they were so fucking fantastic and great that they couldn't get and work with anybody else. It was all fucking about them, and it fucked their careers. It ended their lives early. Guys like that are in football as well, right? And I personally think they're just, you cannot mold some of them. They're so fucking different to everybody else that you're never going to be able to hold that wild horse. So again, I've rambled a bit, but I hear what you're saying entirely. I can't put it, more onus is on him as an individual, in my opinion, than anything the club could have done.
Now, see, I totally get it and I appreciate it, but this is where the environment matters. I think Sydney, that strong of an organisation, that they won't let him get, if he sticks his nose out of joint there, he won't be allowed to get away with it like he was at our club. I think our club is weak.
Well, they hit Buddy Franklin being a complete drug addict for how many years?
Yeah, but that's not on the field. Look what he did on the field. Like at the end of the day,
control him. That's what we can control.
Oh, sorry, yeah. But apparently, yeah. But with him, yeah, exactly right. Like look at the environment. I mean, Collingwood have had their problems with their players. Jordan De Goey. Oh, you can't have Jordan De Goey at Carlton. He'll wreck our culture. You can't bring him in. Oh, yeah, premiership player, no worries. For all his troubles, he still plays on the ground and he's better than 95% of our bloody list. Like, I don't know. There's something with our club where we think about culture in the wrong way, yeah? To me, culture is not keeping everything perfect and everyone has to be a good boy and you can't stick your nose out of joint or you'll wreck the culture. No, the culture is the opposite thing. The culture is the thing that keeps everyone together when bad shit happens, when bad people come in. That is a test of your culture. Do you fall apart when something bad happens? Yes or no? If it's yes, your culture sucks. If it's no, your culture's strong. And I think our club's got it the wrong way around. We can't have anyone come in who sticks their nose out of joint or whatever. Granted, to the club, they stuck with Elijah Hollands, first time in their history. Well done. I applaud that. Maybe that's a sign of change. But with Charlie, I don't see him becoming this rogue, sort of footballer who they can't save. I reckon he won't be as good as Buddy, obviously, but I think he's the new king of Sydney, and I think he's going to have a great long career there, barring an injury. That's just how I see it. I don't think they will let it happen any other way because that's a real strong organisation.
No, well put. I rate
Just
it.
like the academy.
Yeah, but it's 12:30.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys do it.
I'm done.
We
Yeah.
all go. So it's 12:30. Everyone that watched game day, everyone that had to endure the 3 hours of torture that we just watched tonight by Carlton. Again, testament to you all. Everybody that's liked up, subbed, commented tonight as well. There's been a few hilarious comments here. And everybody that's joined the emergency meeting, thank you very much. Probably went absolutely apeshit after, but hey, it is what it is. That's what you're going to get right after the game, right? It's the raw emotion. So I'll put out my review tomorrow. I'll record that tomorrow. I won't record that tonight because I'm hungry. Really haven't eaten. Got another headache, and it is what it is. But again, thank you. Thanks to the boys. Thanks to ending it as well. It's 9:30 Rockamoro. Yeah, for you. For you. All the way from WA. But again, thank you. See you tomorrow, and go Blues.
See you, boys. Thanks. Good chat.
For him and his